Alright, Walking Dead, Season 8, Episode 4 just went off. Some guy, and it was an interesting episode. Picked up where last week ended with Saviors using those big guns to mow down some of the guys from the Kingdom and Ezekiel, and dealing with Ezekiel kind of getting captured, and spoilers, of course, for this video. Ezekiel getting captured. Um, Carol being going after the guns and being very helpful. Carol's kind of going back to the way she was before, with being not afraid to just take down people and uh, do what she has to do. Um, also dealt with this episode dealt with a bunch of how Ezekiel's kind of going back and not wanting. I don't know if he necessarily doesn't want to be the leader, but showing his true self and not really being the king anymore, and having problems with his image. So it sounds like he's ready to just turn around and just be himself for a change. And hopefully that'll be a nice change for him. It's going to be hard. Judging by how he's feeling, it's going to be hard for him just to be a normal guy, since it's all been an act, I guess. I mean, it's definitely been an act, but maybe it might be a little hard for him just to switch. But it sounds like he's definitely ready to turn the page on how he presents himself to the kingdom. And it's interesting, moving the story forward a little bit with the guns, with Daryl and Rick getting them towards the end. But this was definitely a very story focused episode, with Ezekiel having his issues with how he is shown, how the people see him, which I should have seen coming, what happened towards the end, because it was a little shock. I mean, I expected what happened to happen eventually. If you haven't seen this episode, definitely pause it, go watch the episode, maybe come back. But Shiva made the save when they were down like in this little creek with this corrosive stuff leaking out of the water, and all these cool looking zombies, walkers, that were kind of melty or deteriorating a bit. They were weird looking, but pretty neat. Of course, she got surrounded by walkers and had trouble fighting them off. But I would have tried my best to go save that tiger, because it's very handy. Shiva was eaten tonight by the walkers, which came as a surprise to me, with it happening in this manner. I probably would have been okay with Shiva dying at some point. I knew it had to happen. It was bound to happen. Um, I just wish it hadn't gone down like it did. Wish it'd been. I mean, it definitely saved Ezekiel. I just wish it had been a different fashion, I guess, different way, with maybe saving him at some point farther down the road with the Saviors. But at the same time, after watching the show tonight, watching this episode, I probably should have seen it coming, with the issues that Ezekiel's having. Probably should have seen it coming, with him kind of wanting to go back to his old ways, and Shiva being kind of a symbol of how he is as the king. Um, yeah, if he was switching back, I guess the symbol of him now had to go. I guess that's the way they saw it, but still didn't quite care for it. It was it was sad, you know. It's always hard losing a character, even if it's an animal like Shiva. Um, so hard to lose it, see them go, see them die. I just wish that it happened a little differently, I'll say. In my mind, I had visions of going out um, against the Sabres mid-battle, not stuck in a creek with a bunch of walkers killing it. But I don't know, maybe that's me. But hopefully it plays out well. Definitely was a step forward in the story direction with Ezekiel, because he's kind of definitely changed now. He was ready to come out and present his story of how he was before this all happened, and the Shiva dying, that just really hurt him. But interested to see where they'll go from this. A little bit of the plot was pushed forward, and a whole lot of story development with some of the characters. One question I had though was when Daryl wrecked on his motorcycle, looked like it flipped and then was fine. Maybe it's just me, but I thought it would have had a little more damage than what it did. But I don't know motorcycles, so maybe that's perfectly normal. But we'll see. This was an interesting episode. Hopefully next week they'll push it on a bit farther. Sometimes it's hard not having an episode or two without much Negan in it, since he's a compelling character, compelling actor. And we'll see. I'm sure I'll be back next week watching all over. I'll see you guys next time.